And turns out I got COVID. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink at it. All kinds of meds, monoclonal antibodies, Ivermectin, Z-Pak, prednisone, everything.
Ivermectin. It's not FDA approved and it's not recommended by the CDC or the WHO. Why? Because there haven't been solid studies that show that it works. Now, it seems like it's safe when taken at doses that's used to treat head lice, scabies, or parasitic infections. That's typically, for most people, around 15 to 20 milligrams. Now, when you hear about these stories in the news about people getting ivermectin from livestock supply, in that case, they're taking 10 to 15 times the amount that they should be taking. And that's when you hear about these phone calls going to poison control centers. That was my last video that I made. So the bottom line with ivermectin is it hasn't been shown to work. And when you start getting in really high doses, the risk of toxicity goes up. And that's when you get severe side effects, seizures, coma, and so forth.
You know what this is? This is ivermectin for humans that won a Nobel Prize as an antiviral. And this is inhalable, or these are the tablet steroids. So let me show you. I was going to do this anyways earlier. See this? See this, Fauci? You see this, Bill Gates? I'm going to kill those prions, you bastard murderers. You're going to hit me with a bioweapon, you monster.
Follow the science, they said. Remember that? But the moment the JCVI made a decision against jabbing completely healthy youngsters at close to zero chance of dying from COVID, they want to throw the science out the window. Sure, Israel and Australia and lots of these other crazy countries want to go even further and jab all those over 5 years old. We don't necessarily have to follow them, though. If Chris Whitty and the other chief medical officers overturn the JCVI recommendation as expected, then we'll know for sure that they'll only follow the science that suits their COVID-centric political agenda. The second decision relates to the introduction of vaccine passports. In January, Vaccine Minister Nadhim Zahawi gave us a cast iron guarantee that they were out of the question.
I will say hello and smile and say how you doing to every single neighbor that is not wearing a mask. But I've decided I'm not saying hello to the mask people anymore. And the reason for that is what I've realized over the last couple of weeks is that the mask people are not friendly as a general rule. And of course, there's always exceptions to the rule. But the mask people I would say hi to and they just ignore you.
£350 million a week since January of last year is tens of billions of pounds. Why isn't that bailing out the NHS? Or is it another lie from Boris Johnson, just as the lie in his election manifesto? There is no £350 million a week. There are no promises. You cannot believe a word that comes out of a Conservative's lips. Secretary of State.
Not at all.
Well,
so
where's the 300? Tell me where that 20, maybe £30 billion is. I can't seem to find it. You're both Secretary of State for Health and a former Chancellor. Where is it, Mr. Javid?
Allow me to answer that question. As we've left the EU, it happened at the same time as the global pandemic, and that money and much, much more has gone into the health and care service.
You want to suppress me? You want to kill me? You son of a bitch? You goddamn demon? You think I'm easy to kill? Think I'm going to roll over to your crap? No. And Joe Rogan kicked your murdering ass too. You'd love to bury him too, you little monster maggot. He's in this National Geographic piece about, oh, I don't usually deal with my enemies right away. I get them later. Yeah, you creep up on with a poison injection, dressed up in a lab coat, you little Joseph Mengele, Nuremberg Code violating monster.
At least 1,000 men, women and children are believed to have arrived illegally today. 1,000, including on a packed boat in Kent. Now, there's the boat there. Now, that would be a record number, and it comes as a result of the good weather that makes crossing more appealing. The government promised to make the route unviable, but it has failed this summer. And that's not good enough. The boats must be stopped. Now, is Boris Johnson a Taino? A Tory in name only, that is. That's my new acronym.
The mass of the mass media here in Great Britain and around the world seems to me to have been whipping up fear and gaslighting dissenters from the get-go. I struggle to find news I can trust. Government propaganda, though, that appears to me to be everywhere. I don't trust the headlines, I don't trust the billboards, I don't trust the public information broadcasts on TV and radio. For relief from the nightmare, however brief, I remind myself that COVID poses little risk to the vast majority of people. It's as simple as that, and no one in a white coat can possibly deny it.
You damn monster. See our little cancer proteins like that. Nobel Prize winning for humans. 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 What, 2005? Nobel Prize winning for humans. Oh, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan. He went and drank the horse paste. He's stupid. I bet he got it from Alex Jones. They're both so dumb. They're both going to be dead.
Again, for the sake of transparency of your own actions, when did you go on holiday? What date did you go on holiday? Not interested in what you did there. What date did you go?
Look, I made a full statement.
What date did you go on holiday, Foreign Secretary?
I've made a full statement.
I think your own personal transparency is important. What date did you go on holiday?
I made a full statement on it. I also was clear I should have...
Did the statement include the date that you left the country?
At all material times...
Why can't you just answer this question? This is absurd.
Because, look, to be honest with you, I think it's a pretty partisan political...
I just want to know when you went on holiday.
I've been clear...
Because I think it's important we can map out, you know, as Mr. Bryant correctly said earlier, we have UK personnel, UK civilians in harm's way. And I think it's important for us to know what you were doing and where you were doing it from. When did you go on holiday?
And at all...
Read my lips. No jabs for kids.
Medical doctors gave that to me. It is incredible. It helped my family. It helped me. It helped everybody. And it's approved for humans for all sorts of viral stuff. But that murderer Fauci doesn't want you to know because he wants the planet for himself and he wants you dead. Well, guess what, Fauci? We ain't rolling over and dying so easily.
There are no actual RCTs, double-blind RCTs, randomly controlled trials that tell us ivermectin does anything good prophylactically or for active treatment of COVID. You look at Joe Rogan, who took ivermectin and 6 other things for something from which most people recover anyway, right? I mean, doesn't mean we don't take it seriously, but most people recover. And you see that he took ivermectin and azithromycin and monoclonal antibodies, all these different things. That's not anything. That's nothing. That doesn't tell us anything. When you look at actual studies, the study people tend to point to on ivermectin is an Egyptian study where there was ivermectin versus hydroxychloroquine, no placebo group. It's not rigorous. It's simply not rigorous. So Alex Jones taking ivermectin on his show doesn't actually tell us anything.
I'm not looking to browbeat you over this. I just want to know when you went.
It seems...
when did you go on holiday?
With the facts. I think what I've said to you is...
I'm getting nowhere on this.
Am I the only person spending every hour all but convinced I'm living through a waking nightmare that never ends and keeps getting worse?
Your phone calls tonight have been described variously as rabid, pig-ignorant, and stultifyingly ill-informed. Thanks for those.